Glad to be here. Thank you. I wore this black velvet jacket tonight, and I don't wear it very often, and I probably shouldn't have. I mean, because it attracts every piece of lint and hair. You know what I'm talking about? Everything sticks to it, and because it's black, it shows. Everything shows. In fact, I haven't worn this for several months because it's really kind of a winter sport coat, but I got it out of the closet today, and my wife and I, we have this little Maltese dog, little white Maltese dog, cute thing, Pedro. And yeah, I know, Pedro, Maltese, I don't know. He was already named when we got him, but we had forgotten about him, and when I got this out of the closet today, I went, oh, there's Pedro. That was weird. You know, I'm getting to be middle-aged now, and I don't know what the deal is with middle-aged and gaining weight. It probably didn't happen to any of you, right? But I'm getting to be middle-aged, and I remember back when I was young, I didn't have a belly button. I had a flatty. You know, you either have an innie or an outie. I just had a flatty. But now, my stomach is more outie, and my belly button is way innie. I mean, it's way. You probably can't relate to that. Oh my wife. I don't get the idea of these skinny jeans. The young people over here probably are wearing skinny jeans. I don't get skinny jeans. My wife works at a store. She brought home a pair of skinny jeans for me recently. I'm like, honey, I grew out of the slim fit years ago. I mean, come on, really? I mean, these things, so she said, just try them on. So I tried them on. I looked like a pregnant stork. I was like, what? What in the world? I have to trim my toenails just to get my pants on. It's not my wife's fault, though, that I'm gaining weight, because I do most of the cooking at home. It's a schedule thing, and she doesn't get home until later than I do. And she didn't grow up cooking. She's not Italian, you know, so I'm not bashing her, but she just didn't cook much at home. But she's learned a little bit over the years. But on the nights that she does cook, it's a good thing, because the dog doesn't beg at the table. Again, I said she's not here. But this better not get back to her in church on Sunday. Also, this age thing, I don't know if you've noticed, but my hair is thinning. No, it's not. It's just leaving. There's a difference between thinning and going away. And you know, in the Bible it says, even the hairs of your head are numbered. Not very challenging for God anymore, is it? No, in fact, okay, my dad is still my barber. I bet you didn't know that, huh? My dad was a barber back in New York for many years. And for a long time, I didn't have to pay for a haircut, which was awesome. But then when I moved out of home and moved to Tulsa, and before they moved here, I had to go start paying for haircuts. And I didn't enjoy that. I didn't know what that was all about. I didn't even know how much to tip. I'm like, really? I don't get it. And so anyway, so one day we go over to my parents' house after church to eat on Sunday, you know, and my dad says, wow, you're going bald. I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? Leave it to your father to be so supportive, right? I said, wait a minute, what do you mean I'm going bald? We all know it's thinning, yes, hello. He said, no. I saw you in church this morning, like from behind and from a distance. You look like a monk, he said. Can you see it? Can you see? I look like a monk. He could have said a whole lot worse, I guess. And it's not his fault that I'm losing my hair, is it? Exactly. You're ahead of me. Did you read my script? Oh, who said it? Oh, I thought so. Jennifer, you read ahead in the notes. It's not my dad's fault. They say you get your hair genes from your maternal grandfather, right? So it's from my mom's father, which in that case I'm doomed because my grandfather looked like Elmer Fudd. I've tried Rogaine, Dioxin, and Miracle-Gro.
and I still can't grow any hair. But you should see the size of my belly button.
Oh my. Does anybody struggle here with the bed covers between the spouses? I know we got a lot of married couples here, right? Oh, it's always over on your side. How come you pull the covers over on your side? Did anybody fight over covers? No. Nobody here? Anybody? We don't really usually fight at my house over covers. I usually get hot and throw them off anyway, but my wife will pull them over on her side from time to time, which, it doesn't bother me. I don't ever get upset about it. But believe it or not, one day we're making the bed. This was recently. We're both making the bed, and she goes, "These covers have to come back over on your side a whole lot more." Okay, all right. She's measuring, I'm like, okay. And she says, "I don't know how you get these all over on my side." I'm like, "Me? Right, I don't push him over there." So I didn't quite get that, but that's what she said. Why is it that my wife can go over here to this place in Broken Arrow and get a haircut for $10 and it costs $40 for the dog? And I have a confession to make. This past winter, just a few months ago, this winter, I ate summer sausage. Oh, okay, so if there's one groaner in the whole bunch, don't kill me over it. Okay, so this is supposed to be about moms, right? We're celebrating Mother's Day coming up in a couple of weeks. And so many of you don't know my mom. I mean, you think you do, because my stepmother goes to the church here. It just happens to be my dad's current wife. I mean, second wife, pardon me. That didn't come out right. Hey, he called me a monk, okay? My mom died many years ago, and it's all right, I'm over it. But she was unbelievable, though. You would have loved her. She was funny, she was hilarious, and I probably get my humor. Oh, I do get my humor from my mother. And she was awesome. But you know how moms always fight for you? And my mom was a fighter. I mean, literally. She almost came to blows with one of my uncles one time. We're not supposed to talk about that, but she would fight for me. Like when Mrs. Mackey in school pulled me out of the lunch line because she thought I was talking, me talking. But honestly, that time it wasn't me. And she pulled me out, and her fingernails, 3 inches long, went into my arm. And when I got home, my arm was all red, and I had these obvious fingernail prints. And so my mom was about just beside herself on this, and she was going to go back down to the school and have it out with Mrs. Mackey. And do you remember this? My dad's here. My dad remembers. And I was so scared. I thought Mrs. Mackey was not going to be in school the next day. There was no way she was going to live to tell about that one. And then there's this kid down the street from us. His name was Farron Young, not the country star. Although that probably would make a better story. But this Farron Young, he was the bully on the block, and I was the bulled. What is the one that's getting bullied? I was the bullist. I don't know. Anyway, I was the little pipsqueak that couldn't defend himself. And so one day, Farron Young beat the snot out of me, and so when I got home, I told my mom, Farron, me. She said, I'm going to go out there and get him. Now I was worried for him. I started praying, Lord, save Farron. Poor kid. He's only 10. I have this friend, Mario, and I'm almost done, but I got to tell you about Mario. You want to hear about Mario? Poor Mario. He doesn't understand this whole idea of DVRs. I mean, VCRs was one thing for him. Now it's DVR, right? And he is one of those weather nerds. He loves weather. In fact, he'll watch the Weather Channel almost nonstop. But when he's watching TV, like in the evening, and they come on, you know how the local guys come on and they interrupt your favorite show just to talk about a thunderstorm that's happening 300 miles away or somewhere. Not that I ever worked in television news or anything. You know what I used to tell our meteorologist at Fox 23? He hated it. But I used to tell him, oh, you guys are just guessing. Traffic reporters, we report what's really happening out there. You guys just guess. Anyway, my friend Mario, he records the Weather Channel on his DVR. And then he watches it like 2 days later. He'll watch the film. Dude. Mario went on this business trip recently. He doesn't travel much, okay, the poor guy. But he did go on a business trip recently, and he got to stay in a really, really nice hotel. And so he went, the company was paying for it, so he did everything he could at this hotel. But everywhere he went, it appeared that people were looking at him and pointing at him and talking about him. And he came back, he was so paranoid. When he got back, he's like, man, everybody was pointing at me everywhere I went. He went to the restaurant, he went to the coffee shop, in the garage where he parked his car. People were like pointing at him, and he was so paranoid. So he went to his therapist when he got back, and in one session, his therapist cured him. You know what his therapist told him? Start tipping. All right. I'm going to leave you with this. There was this guy named Smith. He went up a mountain. He went up Mount Sinai, to be exact. And he went up Mount Sinai to speak to God. And when he got up there, he said, "Dear God, what does 1,000,000 years mean to you?" And God said, "But a minute." And Smith said, "Dear God, what does $1,000,000 mean to you?" God said, "1 penny." And Smith said, "Dear God, please give me a penny." And God said, "In a minute." All right, I didn't say they were all original, but I will leave you with this. Who knows that that's truly how it is with God sometimes? That He will only give us what we need when we need it, and not just what we want when we want it. Isn't that true? That's how it is with God. We ask and we receive what we need at the time we need it, and not what we want when we want it. So just remember that. All right? Thank you all. I appreciate it. Good night.
Thank you, Jeff. That was a great variety show. You had all kinds of talents on display. Here's a gift from Forever Young.
Oh, I love gifts.
We took your tipping seriously, so we wanted to tip you.
Yeah.